Prime Minister Narendra Modi is chairing or has chaired a high-level meeting on Cyclone Remal. This is a cyclone that is hovering over the Bay of Bengal and is supposed to make landfall at midnight tonight between Bangladesh and the adjoining West Bengal coast. We're joined on the phone line by my colleague Tapas Bhattacharya for more on this. Tapas, what more can you tell us about the levels of preparedness that the Prime Minister has been briefed about related to Cyclone Remal?
Well, good evening, Gautam. The first thing I'd like to tell you is that this is not the first time, Prime Minister Modi has taken, things in his hand. In fact, earlier also when the cyclone, earlier cyclones has, hit the coast of India, especially in the Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, be it Odisha, in West Bengal, or for that matter, Andhra Pradesh, any other state, he has, made sure that, the state machinery, both in center and as well as in state, the official machinery are in line with the fact that it is imperative to safeguard lives, and that's one of the reasons why this particular meeting has been taken. And another point, I just want to mention the fact that both the state, disaster relief efforts as well as from the centers, NDRF team have been, put on standby. They have been deployed at the same time. The idea is to make sure that the people have been evacuated at the earliest, so that once this particular cyclone is hitting the coastline of Bangladesh as well as India, there is, you understand that there will be some sort of damage to the property, but damage to human life should not happen, and that's something the Prime Minister has been very keen on. Earlier also he has has taken these kind of meetings. This particular cyclone Remal is likely to make landfall by late tonight, early morning tomorrow, and somewhere in the region between Bangladesh and West Bengal coast. So that's one thing that a lot of people have been talking about, how to go about it, and Prime Minister is leading from the front in the rescue mission. Gautam.
All right. Tell us a little bit more about Cyclone Remal. At what levels of severity is this expected to make landfall, and which areas of Bangladesh and India, that is West Bengal, could it impact?
Right. So we're being told that it's likely to hit somewhere. The landfall process is expected to start in the next 2 to 3 hours. Currently, it is very close to the 140 kilometer. It's 130 kilometer southeast of Sagar Island in West Bengal, and very close to the Khepupura places in Bangladesh. And we've been told that it's moving fast. It's in fact the speed in which it's going is almost 16 kilometers per hour, and it is likely to move towards West Bengal coast, Sagar Island and Khepupura nearby by late tonight, and expected to be in the severe cyclonic storm category. Now, when we talk about the severe cyclonic storm, the wind speed is actually over 110, 120 kilometers per hour, and it can actually reach 135 kilometers per hour mark. So imagine a wind speed of 130, 120 kilometers hitting the coastline, the kind of destruction it can cause. And one of the reasons why all the activities in the sea, in the ocean, has been suspended so far. A lot of flights have been impacted because of that, especially in Odisha, West Bengal area, and it is expected that a lot of rainfall activity will be taking place. In fact, it's actually currently going on in near Bangladesh border as well as in West Bengal, the Sagar Island that have been talking about. So this is something that they've been talking about, and currently its projection is been marked by the Doppler radar in Kolkata that India has. The Doppler radar is actually a very advanced radar which monitors the movement of this kind of cyclone, and it's there in West Bengal and in Kolkata. So that's kind of monitoring that. So we believe that in the next 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours, the landfall process will start taking place, and it's not going to be easy for people living there. So we've been told that large number of people have been evacuated in measures of of this magnitude. And you have to understand the fact that state machinery is also deployed for the election process in West Bengal. So a lot, the center is, helping out the state government to make sure that even amidst all the election process, the center is, actually giving a helping hand to the state to make sure that everything can be done to safeguard lives.
And part of the precautionary action is also, Tapas, the deployment of National Disaster Response Force teams. I believe that too has been done in this case?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have to tell you this, that NDRF team have been deployed. Though we are awaiting the number of teams that have been currently deployed, but we were told that 12 NDRF teams have been deployed to vulnerable areas, and the Coast Guard has also been roped in by the center and the state government to make sure that if by any chance any untoward incidents take place in the sea, the people are there to make sure that no lives are lost. So that's there, and as I mentioned, 12 National Disaster Response Force team along with the state disaster team has been put on high alert right now. So that's one point. The cabinet has already instructed the government of West Bengal to review the placement of large hoardings. These are things which actually impact especially in cyclone. We have seen in cyclone, when hoardings they fall, there is a chance that it has a negative impact and it can cause large-scale damage. So the Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba has already instructed the West Bengal government to review the placement of large hoardings in these areas affected, the areas which will be affected by the cyclone. And remember, if I'm not wrong, it was in Mumbai, and if I'm not wrong, 16 people at that time died because of a giant hoarding that actually fell down because of a dust storm. So learning from the past mistake of the what happened earlier, this has been done, and also the center has assured the state government, Bengal state government, that all central agencies and all help will be provided to them if and anytime they are required.
Right, and I believe even the Indian Navy is on standby, some of its resources to give humanitarian assistance if required,
yes,
not just within India but even in Bangladesh.
Yes, that's there. In fact, we have seen the same preparedness shown in Cyclone Biparjoy in Gujarat, just a year back. If you remember, that Navy has put on high alert, and it shows the kind of overall thinking that Prime Minister has. He puts everybody on the same page. You understand that there is obviously the state government, the election, as I mentioned, election is going on, and there is definitely that friction that happens. But moving away from that, getting making sure that during in election time, these things don't take a backseat, and that's something that has been put in place. Indian Navy, in fact, has initiated preparatory action based on the information that India's meteorological department provides. In fact, they have a standard operating procedures on this, and they actually make sure that they have a round-the-clock surveillance of the sea on this. In fact, we were told that they are mounting a 24/7 surveillance on the particular coastline, which is expected. There's the Bay of Bengal coastline, which connects Bangladesh as well as Kolkata, West Bengal. They are actually making a high-level anticipation, and they're making the whole idea, the whole they actually the whole line that is there. So the cyclone is expected, as I mentioned, by in 3 to 4 hours to make a landfall. So the Navy is going through that, is looking through that, and then Eastern Naval Command is there, and it's actually looking at the situation very carefully.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of the impact of this severe cyclone, as it's being categorized, Remal, right now, Tapas, it's not just Bangladesh and West Bengal, but it's supposed to impact some districts in Odisha and some other districts going even up to Sikkim, I believe, till the 28th of this month.
Not just Sikkim, Tripura, West Bengal, Odisha, the whole coastline which is there, and to an extent to northeast part of the country, because if you take a close look at the projection of the cyclone's path, you will realize that it goes interior, and because of the severity of the cyclone's power, as I mentioned, the wind speed will be going around 120, 130 kilometer per hour. So
yes.
with that,
so some areas of Assam and Meghalaya as well.
Yes, absolutely. So what happens is that it will push the atmospheric low pressure at the same time, what will happen is that there will be a lot of rainfall activity that will take place, and at the same time there will be high wind speed that will also be accompanied with the huge rainfall activity that I've been talking about. That's one point. And another point I'd like to make here, Gautam, that with this, what we can tell you is that the onset of monsoon may also be impacted. Monsoon is expected the end of the month in Kerala. We believe that that may be hastened because of this particular arrival of cyclone.
Okay, and Tapas, the last phase of polling in India, the 7th phase is on the 1st of June, and there are seats 9, I believe, in West Bengal, 6 in Odisha, and of course there are others as well. But would it be too much to say that even one needs to perhaps, the government may need to, or the Election Commission may need to look at whether that particular polling in those areas will be possible on the 1st of June or not, depending on the impact of the cyclone?
I believe that the cyclone will pass by then. I think the cyclone will leave the shores of West Bengal. So currently the scenario is such that the state machinery needs to get its act in order to evacuate the people in the coastline. It's a huge coastline we are talking about, and it's a very density of people that stays in this particular coastline. So it is imperative that they are provided shelter in places which can withstand the might of this particular cyclone. That's going to be the major challenge. And then the second challenge will be to provide them safe sanitation and food and water, because when we covered cyclone, we have seen that most people get sick and get their health gets impacted because the water is that they get is not of higher standard, and obviously food becomes a major constraint in these areas.
Right, and in terms of ensuring that communication and other infrastructural facilities they keep working, what sort of measures have been put in place for those?
Yes, that's a very important point, Gautam. We saw the same thing in Gujarat. The state machinery swung into action and told all the stakeholders in communication line that if there is one particular, let's say a mobile connection is not working, the other mobile operator will help them in not just restoring but also providing them the bandwidth. So that actually worked hugely in Biparjoy. We have not seen the same thing earlier in Odisha when other cyclones struck or for that matter in Bengal. So that's something that the state government need to learn. They need to give the orders that this actually comes under the purview of the state government. If they can actually come out with this whole plan and take a leaf out of Gujarat, it might be a major, beneficiary for the people who are staying there. And remember, connectivity is a major thing. And if you know that your near and dear ones are safe, it gives them a lot of happiness, and it gives them sound sleep. So it's something that they need to look into it, and also the state machinery will also benefit from that. For instance, we saw when the large scale of trees uprooting and poles fell, a call from local people to the district administration actually helped in clearing these areas. And the only way you can provide that information is through calls or phones, or for that matter any information that can be relayed. So that's something that the state government, West Bengal state government, need to think among themselves and probably pass an order regarding that.
All right, Tapas, let's leave it there for the moment, and let's hope that the cyclone passes with the least amount of destruction and disruption as possible, and all measures that have been put in place to ensure that people are safe and resources are also not really completely destroyed, they come into bear and make the most impact in terms of safeguarding lives and resources. Thanks for joining us for the moment.